everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Chef and the Nutritionist. I'm here with my amazing friend and super chef, Zaz. Zaz, thank you for being here with us again today.
Hey Fee, thanks for having me. So good to be back.
I think we are covering lots and lots of different topics, and today we have got one of my favorite topics to talk about, and that's the macros versus the micronutrients, because sometimes there can be a little bit of confusion around macros and micros. So I thought maybe we should probably start with a bit of a definition of what's what.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think the best way it was described to me as a younger person when I was trying to learn about this as an athlete was consider the macros to be the fuel in the car and your micros to be the oil. And you can't have one without the other, but you need to know that, they are completely different. One's job is to really push through the energy, and the other one is to really make sure all of your body systems keep going, just like the oil in the car. Is that how you understand macros and micros?
Absolutely. I understand them. Yeah, you can't have one without the other. Absolutely. You've got
Yeah,
to
for
have that
sure.
balance across the whole board.
Yeah, and it's also a
Mm.
little bit about well, it's not also a little bit about that. It's very much about the fact that we get the majority of our energy from our macronutrients. So, what are our macronutrients? What are they?
So our three macronutrients are our proteins, our carbs, and our fats. And our main source of our energy comes from our carbs and our fats. So it is so important to make sure that we're eating those good fats in our diet. So, we can get good fats from avocados, steer away from those high processed oils like your blended vegetable oils. Um, I've got in my cupboard coconut oil, cold pressed, and a cold pressed olive oil, and that's all we really need. And then you'll get your good oils from, your lean meats if you eat meat, eggs. There's so many different ways you can take in those good fats. And carbs are so important. And sometimes we get confused between carbs and sugars. I know when I'm looking at my ingredients list on, my shopping, I'm always looking at the total carbs in the ingredients list, which is the amount of sugars that's in that product. Um, then the best way to see what's in that product is to go to your ingredients list and to see what's exactly in there. So then you can find out what types of sugars you're actually going to be consuming.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's so
And it is a bit
important.
of a
Yeah.
loophole, isn't it? Because you'll have people
Mm,
say, I can't have carbs. It's like, well, you kind of need carbs. You actually
yeah.
need
Yeah.
carbs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just you don't want the sugars. And I think,
Absolutely.
it's important to understand the difference between carbs that we're getting from, we were talking about sweet potatoes and
Yeah.
broccoli, and those carbs
Yeah.
compared
So our
to carbs
complex
from
carbs.
bread,
Yeah.
processed white bread, which again
Mm,
is loaded with the sugars. So
yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. So our
yeah,
simple carbs are all our, our white breads, our white pastas, um, white rice. So, you can still eat them, but you're not getting the nutrients. You're not getting those macros that our body needs. So it's best to, stick to your complex carbs, which you can do so much more with anyway. So a sweet potato, you can have it hot or cold, roasted, steamed, mashed, whatever you like. But there's, yeah, like grains, ancient grains, brown rices, brown breads, grain bread. There's so many healthier ways to get in our carbs.
yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And I think the
Mm.
important thing to remember, and I know we've banged on about this subject many, many times, is to get the dietary fiber, we need to get the carbs from plants. You know,
Plants,
get
yeah.
dietary fiber. And so you need to make sure you've got that balance. And I think it's really important to understand that, whilst the macros are there to build and maintain your body
Mm.
tissues and your muscles and give you that energy, there's a lot of micronutrients that are required to convert that energy into the systems that we need and our functions within our body, such as our immune defense is big. We need the vitamin C to help break down the macros so that we get our immune. We need the calcium, so a micronutrient calcium to help with our bone health and bone density. And then iron, which Yes, you can get from heme, from the meat, but also from plants as well. And iron is really, really important for oxygen transportation around the body. So
It is,
without these micronutrients, these not oil, but the oil of the body doing all of the work internally, we can't really have one without the other. So getting that diversity across your diet is really important. I thought I'd also touch on the daily requirements, because obviously we need a lot more macros than we do the micros. Macros are generally measured in calories or kilojoules when you're looking at it. Fats are measured in grams. And as I was mentioning prior to this, it's, the fat, quality fat has twice the amount of calories or kilojoules than protein or carbs. So it's really important to remember when we're serving up that, we've got that good cross section of the carb and the protein and the fats, those good fats, especially avocados and all those yummy good fats.
Oh yeah, all those yummy things.
Yeah, coconut oil and I'm always throwing like coconut oil into my raw treats and whatever just to boost up those really good fats. But basically we need our macros and our micros. We can't have one without the other. And sometimes you're looking at ingredients and you'll see it's fortified with like vitamin D is a big one. In milk, they'll fortify a lot of dairy products with extra vitamin D. I say go outside, stand in the sun, and eat vitamin D infused mushrooms. But it's just those things where they're trying to push extra micronutrients that we become deficient in because we're not getting that variety across the diet. And I guess too, just knowing how much specifically for you, the best way to do this is to jump on the Australian Guide for Healthy Eating on the website and jump on the calculator and work out and it will actually give you your breakdown of macros and micros that you need every day. And that's also where you'll find what the recommended daily intake is, and whether you're adequate or inadequate in some of those macros and micros. So yeah, what else do we have to say about macros and macros?
Well, the micros are super important because they hold all our antioxidants. So if we didn't have our micros, then we wouldn't be getting our antioxidants that our body needs, which is super important for our immune system. So yeah, that's one little spiel I wanted to put in. And the way we can get all these vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients is through fruits, berries, and vegetables. High quality, as clean as possible. Like trying organic is the way to go, but I know it's hard for some people, but just eating as clean as possible. And what have we said in the past, Lee? Grow your own. If you can grow your own, that is the best way to go.
Yeah. Know where they're sourced. If you can know where they're sourced, then for sure. It's definitely.
I've just started a worm farm yesterday because I am even just making my own soil now. So yeah, I'm super excited, and all my scraps from my kitchen have got somewhere to go now too. So
yeah, that's very good. I think I overfed my worms because I have such a high plant base. I was like peels and whatever, and I just went, oh man. But yeah, I love doing exactly the same and using the worm castings. Maybe that's a whole other episode around worms and worm castings and making your own soil.
I think so because I've had a lot of research into that worm farm this week.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think that pretty much covers it. I think it's just really important to jump on the Australian Guide for Healthy Eating website and work out your calculations of what you actually need. And you might actually be surprised if you actually drill into what it is that you need, and then you can create your meal plans around that and make sure that you're meeting those needs. I think probably the biggest thing for me that I see in clients is either not enough or way too much protein. Very rarely are people having way too much plants and dietary fiber. It's definitely not something that comes up, but making sure that we are getting that cross variety of micronutrients is really important. And of course, as we always say, variety is the only way to go when it comes to what's on your plate. Keeping it fresh, keeping it interesting. Don't have the same 2 fruits and 5 vegetables day in, day out. Try and
Yeah,
create a little
that's
bit of
it.
diversity in what you're eating, so that you're getting that diversity of micronutrients as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think that's a wrap
Okay,
on macros and micros.
awesome.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Sars. It's been great to have a chat.
Thanks, Fee. See you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.